Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is 9 o'clock on Friday, and you are watching and listening to me, Deb Burton, the host of Friday Friends, held by RI Elder Info every week here on social media, where we bring you information and resources that you or someone you know needs to know about. So please hit the like button, the share button, all the bells, whistles, social media cues to tell people to check this out, because we want to get the information out to as many people as possible, because you never know who might need what we're talking about today. So again, thank you for joining me. As you know, I say every week, thank you to our sponsors and our donors. We could not bring this show to you without the support of 321 Media, Point 32 Health Foundation, United Healthcare, Oak Street Health, England Studio, our wide variety of donors and sponsors that really help us bring the information out to you in the community. So thank you to our sponsors. And this week, I would like to welcome Jennifer.Wall, the director of Tobacco Free Rhode Island and the American Lung Association in Rhode Island. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, Deb, and it's wonderful to have. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes, it's great to see you. Thank you for coming on. So tell everybody, what is Tobacco Free Rhode Island and what's up with the American Lung Association here in the state?
Absolutely. So the American Lung Association is one of the nation's oldest voluntary health organizations. So we're talking 120 years in the making, and the Lung Association has grown and evolved over the course of this time, more than a century, to improve lung health and prevent lung disease. We have an office that's actually located behind the Providence Place Mall, and it runs adjacent to Atwells Avenue in Providence on West Exchange Street. And Tobacco Free Rhode Island, which I get the pleasure of directing, is grant funded through the Rhode Island Department of Health, and we're a network that's made up of 110 plus organizations and individuals that are dedicated to reducing tobacco and nicotine use, which happens to be the leading cause of preventable death and disease in Rhode Island. So we're housed at the Lung Association. We do a ton of work together. And that's what we've been doing for a long time now. So
now I remember, like, back when I was a kid, you were like, and this is awful to say, and I'm not condoning it, but it was the cool kids who went out to smoke outside in high school. And that was the norm. Further back, people used cigarettes as a way to stave off eating, things like that. Like, it really was part of our cultural norms. How has that changed recently? And is it different in Rhode Island than in other parts of the country?
Great question. Tobacco and smoking has been around for centuries. And today, what we're talking and focusing a little bit more on is commercial tobacco use. And that's different than traditional tobacco use, where it's part of a ceremony. It's used sacredly by different populations of people. So commercial tobacco use in particular has been around for a while, and smoking cigarettes is something that was a norm for a very long time. The landscape of tobacco products has changed a lot over the years. And as the long and short-term health effects of smoking cigarettes became more known, the tobacco industry, vaping industry is about a million years ahead, light years ahead of everybody. And there were many other products that were able to be on the market and are marketed really towards kids. But there are a lot of flavors like bubblegum and cotton candy and things that a lot of adults would not necessarily be turning to. In addition to the types of products that come in all types of different flashy packaging, and they're cheap and easy to get. So things like little cigars and cigarillos, and in terms of vaping and nicotine and e-cigarettes, disposable ones and actual e-cigarettes that hold the liquid and nicotine, different varying levels in it. So there are so many different products that are available if you go into a convenience store or a vape shop or a tobacco shop or wherever it is that a retailer is selling those products. And it's changed a lot over the years, but it's the same type of marketing strategies that the tobacco industry and vaping industry are using now. So smoking became a little less of the norm, and now vaping's kind of the cool in thing, where we certainly know what some of those short-term health effects are. And as the science continues to evolve and come out, we're learning about the long term.
And when you say it's the number one preventable reason for people dying in Rhode Island, like that is stunning to me, that it doesn't have to be that way.
No, it certainly does not. And the good news is, like, there's help available. So no matter what product, and addiction's a disease. Disease is meant to be treated. It's not meant to be stigmatized or penalized. So looking at it from that angle, there are a lot of evidence-based resources out there that are available to help, because different things work for different people. So thinking about smoking cessation, which is really just a fancy term for treatment, it's the process of discontinuing tobacco smoking. And it can take many different paths depending on what the person's goals are. But we do know that it can affect someone physically, socially, and mentally. So some of these benefits of quitting, it's very vast and different depending on who the person is. But if you look at some of the physical benefits, it can positively impact your health in a number of different ways, some of which the Lung Association has done some studies and research on. The heart rate drops to normal levels within 20 minutes of quitting. And
Wow.
Within 12 hours of quitting, your carbon monoxide levels in your blood can drop to a normal level again. Lung function actually improves within 2 weeks to 3 months of quitting. And coughing and shortness of breath begins to decrease within 1 to 9 months. Your actual risk of coronary heart disease becomes half that of a smoker within only 1 year of quitting. And lastly, your risk of having a stroke is reduced to that of a non-smoker within 5 to 15 years of quitting. So there's some substantial physical health benefits to quitting smoking. And there's also financial benefits. You can save anywhere from $1,380 to $2,540 annually by quitting that pack-a-day habit. So if you think about that vacation you may want to go on, or something extra that you've been looking to purchase and save up for, there may be some financial benefits to that and means to be able to meet those goals. And then
so that's like literally, your vacation money going up in smoke.
You got it. You got it. Or whatever it is that you are looking at. So, and then the mental health benefit end of it, I'd be remiss if we weren't talking a little bit about the fact that people who smoke tend to think that cigarettes help improve the mood, and smoking is usually what's causing their anxiety in the first place. So when you stop smoking, you often realize the lower levels of anxiety, depression, stress. And if you're on medications that are used to treat a mental health disorder, you'll also likely be able to lower those doses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's a lot of immediate benefits to stopping smoking. Now, full disclosure, I've never been a smoker. My grandfather had emphysema, and I remember the sound of what it was like when he was struggling to breathe. And I've always thought, whatever it is that I can do to prevent that struggling for breath, then that's what I'm going to do. And if there's something I shouldn't do, such as smoking, I'm not going to do that. But for a lot of folks, smoking has been something that they've done literally since childhood, and they're long past childhood. What are the ways that, if you've been a smoker your whole life, that if you want to quit smoking for your health, for the health of your family, maybe you have grandbabies coming, for whatever reason, you want to quit smoking now. Maybe you had a hospital stay, so you couldn't smoke for a while and you want to stay not smoking. What resources are available? And are they available through the American Lung Association or through Tobacco Free Rhode Island?
These are great questions. And there are a lot of different strategies for quitting. And again, like different strategies work for different people. So if one type of strategy doesn't work for you, do not give up. Keep going, try something else. We're lucky that there are lots of strategies in this day and age. So here's a few to consider. If you think about nicotine replacement therapy, it's sometimes coined NRT. Research suggests that people who use NRT products and medications, these are things like the patch, lozenges, gum, nasal sprays, inhalers, most of which you can purchase over the counter. And some of them are by prescription, so you could talk to your doctor about it. But they double or possibly triple the chances of quitting long term. So when you couple that with counseling, the use of an NRT product, you're talking a much higher chance of quitting over the long term. The other piece is tracking. Tracking nicotine use is a good first step so that you can kind of know when and why tobacco is used. And then you have an idea a little bit more about how tobacco shows up in your daily life, and creating a plan that is going to address this. Planning against triggers. Avoid, alter, alternative. These are the 3 A's that the Lung Association encourages acting against triggers. So
say those 3 A's again.
That would be avoid, alter, and alternative. Okay. So thinking about avoiding the trigger situation, if you were foregoing a work break with individuals who would use tobacco, so skip that. Altering the trigger situation would be like if you put tobacco products in the trunk of your car before you drive, then you can't get to them if you're used to and their trigger is while you're smoking while driving. Using alternatives in place of tobacco products, trying a relaxation technique in a stressful situation, things like that. Everyone's journey to quitting is a little different. And building support will put you in the best position to reach those goals. And some of the work that Tobacco Free Rhode Island specifically does as a network is making sure that there's a list of updated and compiled resources that are available to all Rhode Islanders. So these can come in the form of helplines, in-person support groups, online and web-based resources. The work that we do is to try to make sure that it's one-stop shopping. So you can go on our website, find it, we have printed flyers and materials and things like that, so that different programs and services work for different people. So thinking about the variety of different resources that are out there, the Rhode Island Nicotine Helpline is one of them. It's a free, it's effective quit support available 24/7 by phone and text and online chat. It offers that nicotine replacement therapy that we were just talking about, gum patches in the forms of gum patches or lozenges, and for those that are medically eligible. And also these services are available in English, Spanish, and in other languages.
Oh, that's very helpful.
Very accessible. And you don't have to leave the comfort of your own home. So you can do it by phone or computer, whatever that may look like. And there's counseling and chat services that are also available through that. So wraparound and very comprehensive. If you're somebody that would prefer an in-person support group and like to go and to be in that group atmosphere, Thunder Mist Health Center offers individual and group support. They also include the NRT for patients and non-patients in Woonsocket, Wakefield, and West Warwick. So pretty much the entire state. And it's also offered in English and Spanish. And then also there are things like peer-to-peer support groups like Nicotine Anonymous. It's a 12-step program similar to AA, helping each other live nicotine-free lives. And it welcomes all those seeking freedom from a nicotine addiction, including those that are struggling with any type of nicotine addiction from different products. And a lot of those meetings are taking place remotely, so they can be accessed on your phone or computer.
That's awesome.
Then there's some in-person programs too. So lastly, there's online and web-based resources, something called Become an X. It's an online cessation program that personalizes the quitting experience for every participant and will help you come up with a quit plan and things of that sort. So no matter what you like and what you're into, there's a whole bunch of different programs, services, and strategies out there. We just encourage everybody to check with your insurance to learn more about your specific cessation benefits, because a lot of times your health insurance will pick up some of these.
That's awesome. That is so good. So if people have questions or they want to learn more, is there a number where they can call you or a particular website for those folks who are listening and not watching? What number can they call?
They can call 401-533-5179 and ask for Jen. The other thing is all of this information is available on our Tobacco Free Rhode Island website. The quit resources in particular, located on our Quit Resources webpage.
That is awesome. And those benefits of quitting smoking, they benefit the smoker. How about those folks who are around them?
That's a great point. Secondhand and third-hand smoke are a real thing. So when it comes to those that you love, whether those be human or pets, everybody's susceptible to that. So thinking about protecting them from all of the carcinogens and things, toxicities that are involved in these different tobacco products. There's true benefit to that as well. And thinking also about how smoke and aerosol from these products often get stuck in our walls, in our curtains, in rugs. So if you're living in an apartment or a residential type of place, then if you're moving in and somebody had smoked prior to you, you may be susceptible to that as well, and you're breathing that in on a regular basis. So those types of things, repainting helps, but it's like, scraping all of that down, taking the wallpaper down. It's a lot of work.
Absolutely. So the best way for people to get help is to go to the Tobacco Free Rhode Island or the American Lung Association of Rhode Island, right?
You got it. So Tobacco Free Rhode Island actually compiles all of those resources we talked about today and has them in little buckets and makes it very easy, and we keep it updated so that you have access to all the different types of programs that are happening for quit services around Rhode Island. And then awesome. The Lung Association, the Department of Health, Thunder Mist Health Center, a lot of all of these partners and whatnot will have their individual programs that will be marketed on their websites as well. We just compile it all together.
I like that when resources are compiled in one spot. That's, part of why we got RI Elder Info is to compile information so you don't have to go here, there, and everywhere. So that is awesome.
Makes it a lot more user-friendly.
Absolutely. Well, Jen, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on Friday Friends, because you've got a lot going on over there.
Well, so thank you so much, Deb. And if I could just conclude with one piece.
Sure.
And that would be, if anybody is interested, the Lung Association, with support from Tobacco Free Rhode Island, is hosting a lung health panel event at Brown University on November 8th. Called Community Connections, and we're envisioning a world free of lung disease.
Love it.
It's taking place at Brown, and it's free. The registration link is available and can be found on American Lung Association's website and also through this podcast. And just so you know, it's a fairly quick event. It's a 4:30 in the afternoon to 6. Food is involved. And there's a dynamite panel of lung health experts talking about defeating lung cancer, Dr. Hina Khan, access to quality and affordable health care, Amy Nunn, champion clean air for all. So looking at it from the clean air perspective, Meredith Hastings, and then creating a tobacco-free future, Dr. Andrew Federaro. There'll be an opportunity for Q&A with these panel members, with these lung health experts, so you can bring those burning questions that you may have, and opportunities to learn more about how you can get involved.
Perfect. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank
there's
you.
So many different aspects to this. I think we could probably talk all day and night, right?
Agreed.
So thank you. Thank you with everything you've got going on, with the big event coming up on the 8th. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much.
Folks, we sometimes take for granted our ability to just go, and the American Lung Association and Tobacco Free Rhode Island is there to help us remember and to ensure that we are able to continue to breathe freely and breathe deeply. There are ways to quit smoking out there, many of which can be covered potentially by your health insurance company. So please reach out. Don't wait until it's too late. You don't want to have to struggle for breath. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. In the meantime, be well and be kind.
If you like this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.